Well, hello. Welcome to the 22nd day of January 2022. My name's Kurt, and this is my Good Life meditation. I do this every morning to remind myself of my objectives and principles, and to summarize how I did yesterday, and to plan for the coming day. Yesterday, not much to speak about, just a solid day of work. I did complete the training manual that I've been working on. And I've got one little piece that I still would like to work on. There's under cost plans. That was curious. Something not tapped on the window. Even the dog looked up. I know there's a strong wind outside, but there's no trees out there. Who's tapping on the window? Under cost plans, I was able to figure out how to create them and then apply costs, but I can't figure. They don't seem to be reconciled. They don't seem to be showing up. So I still need to work on that, because remember, I have to teach this stuff too. So, kind of being on my own, that was one of the things in the project, was to decide to train us beforehand, those of us that are creating the course, or to just let us figure it out, which was the latter option. So I'll figure it out. Good day otherwise. Yumiko and I had a nice lunch together. We actually went out for lunch. We're going to start doing that on the Fridays that I'm actually working. We'll go out to lunch on those days. We went to Applebee's, someplace I never really thought I would enjoy going, but it was all right. It was pretty good. And mostly because we just don't know anything about the restaurants here, but we'll learn. This new plan will get us familiar. Yesterday was a good day. Climbed the mountain in the evening. I'll just summarize that. I climbed it in the dark. Another nice climb. That was fun. Way up there. I've got a flashlight, but I don't use it. And the moon hadn't come over the ridge yet, and the nearly full moon, and just stood at the top, gazing out over the cityscape below. It was good. Okay, let's do my good life. Recite my good life creed. First, the 7 objectives. These are to be always ready to die, to make good use of my time, to develop good life principles and objectives, to just cultivate good emotional reactions, to perform good actions, to do just one thing at a time and do that thing slowly, and to recognize my true limits and my true opportunity. I got the last 2 backwards. And you can see I'm going a little bit fast. That's because I want to get the dogs out. Ollie's not feeling so well. He ate something yesterday off the ground, and I think it's upsetting his tummy a little bit. So I took him out pre-dawn to let him. Wow, that is the wind out there. Maybe that's your stomach. Yeah, I had to take him out early. His tummy seems to be acting up. So I'm going to get this through quickly and then get him outside to even make sure he can, if he's not feeling well, he can get it out. He does that sometimes. He tends to eat everything off the ground. It makes him a little sick, and then he gets through it quickly. Only a couple of times have I actually had to take him to the vet for that. I hope this isn't one of those. But the timing would be fortuitous. It's the weekend. Meaning that I don't have to work. I can take him to the vet if I need to. Now my 30 principles, which are to be always ready to the principle of war, to always fight against what I hold as true, the principle of reason, and the sub-principles of honesty, objectivity, and doubt, which I use in that war, the principle of the homunculus, the little man residing on a rock in an ocean, which is what I am and you are too, man or woman, the Anchorhold is that rock on the ocean. The home of good and evil is the catalog of right and wrong that we maintain in our heads. Quite subjective, quite temporary. Excuse me, I might sneeze. Pardon me. The next principle is the atomic principle. Everything is made of little bits and pieces that will fall apart very quickly, including you and me. Next is the principle of nature. Everything and everyone has a particular nature, And it's good to know what that is so we can anticipate what to expect from things and people. Next comes the pirate ride. The proposition that free will is an illusion. Then comes maturity and the sub-principles of wisdom and fortitude. We are mature when we remember the past and are able to be strong in the future, to not repeat our mistakes and to further our successes. Then comes the social principle. We humans need other humans to be well. Then the principle of public speaking. A reminder to just choose few words and carefully chosen words and to never gossip. Then temperance and the sub-principles of suffering, simplicity, and apathy. A reminder to live a simple life. The horror show is next. Life is a horror show, just chock full. All the terrible things going on. It's not a reminder to dwell on that, but to remember it. Keep it in mind. It's the thing that we're working to relieve and to avoid. The next principle is that which must be borne. We have to bear a lot in life, especially when we become adults and we take on responsibilities. We have our family, our job, a lot of stuff we don't want to do, but we have to do it nonetheless, and we choose to do it nonetheless because we're mature and we're grown-ups, and we push forward to help contribute to making that better world together. Excuse me. Then comes and the sub-principle of the hand on the tiller, keeping the ship sailing towards the goal. Like Shackleton towards the Georgian Islands. Next comes, after that which must be born comes, the Feast of Offal. A reminder to not publicly share my upset and anger, but to manage that within, to not make a scene. And when others are making a scene, to not intake that, maybe help out if I can, but to not let it upset me. Pass it along to me, consume their upset. Next comes distraction. We distract ourselves through all kinds of things to make sure that we don't have to see that there is no God, that the universe is, that we're on our own. That's the thing we don't want. We don't want to know all that's wrapped up in that, the apparent fact of our mortality, the limited opportunity and time that we have, and the utter eternity of nothing after death. That's what we don't want to see. So we'll not do that. Just distract ourselves with all kinds of stuff. There's a basketball game. I got a hobby. My job needs me. My family, my kids, they need my time. Whatever it is, that's fine. I just prefer to see the deep emptiness of the universe and manage that and work with that fact. Okay, agency in the great indifference. Next is the best seat in the house. To not want to be anyone else, be anywhere else, or be doing anything else, but to be okay with who I am, where I am, and what I'm doing at all times. Well, nevertheless striving to make things better. Then comes the path of wildness, which is a way to move forward through our current circumstance into new and better life. Next comes the risk of avoiding risk, the deep level risk of trying to find ourselves, so to speak, and the surface level risk of all the typically sanctioned things of home, family, education, job, etc. It's good to try to attend to both in their time, in their season. Sin and damnation is next. There are 7 sins in my worldview. These are falsity, credulity, hope, faith, authority, dogma, and gossip, which are all but the last one are just categories of believing things for bad reasons. Complete oblivion is next. A reminder that when we die, we will be utterly gone, and there will be no chance to have reunion with those who we loved in life. We will not have a chance to reconcile with anyone who we left life with on bad terms. Not that we'll know. And there will be no final justice if we don't attend to justice in the one life that we get. The Great Life Adventure is next. A reminder to indulge in something fun and interesting and special in life, preferably early on, to act as the center point and the defining moment of our existence in terms of adventure and interest. If we do it early, it helps to mold our character and makes us into the man or woman that we will become. Doing it later is more like putting icing on a cake. It looks nice, but it's a decorative element only because it doesn't have time to soak into our character. It's the difference between making ice cream or cake, I guess. The next principle is the season of philosophy. It's simply a reminder that when we live a life, that's an interesting life, when we've engaged ourselves and done things, we might find ourselves with done things, thought things, studied things, whatever. We might find ourselves in a position one day to have something interesting to say. And this principle simply reminds me that when that moment comes, do something about it, because the moment will pass. Next is, after the season of philosophy comes, the bullseye aim. We often strive, but usually miss the mark by some degree. Nice example of it this week where I strove to complete the training manual and missed the mark by three points, 3 layers out. And my supervisor helped me tune me up and get me back on track. I appreciate that from him. And that's what I spent yesterday and Thursday doing, getting that back on track. And I simply reminded myself of that when it happened. I said, oh yeah, bullseye aim. So it's not like I don't beat myself up over not hitting not getting perfect result. Uphill climb is next. Life is a steady climb upward. Arena and utility. Life is an arena for the development of our principles and the utilization of them towards better ends, better life, better living. Nothing is enough. Just a suggestion that sometimes less is better. And then the last principle is the principle of fun. A reminder to have a good time. Don't take life too damn seriously. And that's it. Now, forecasting the day. Yeah, it is the wind blowing on the windows. Forecasting the day. I have the day off. I'm going to do my usual stuff. I'm going to clean the house. And after I'm done with this, I'll read the Bible. I think I'm on Psalms chapter 131 this morning. I'll read that, and then I'll then I'll take the dogs out. Then I'll start cleaning the house, starting with this room, and then working my way downstairs. And then when that's done, my wife and daughter will probably get up somewhere midway between that. I won't do the vacuuming up here until later. I don't want to wake them up. And then after that, we'll go for, I think Yumiko and I are going to Irvine today to do some shopping. So it'll be a pretty full day. And I want to do some more reading. So, all right, well, that's it. I wish you all the best. Be safe, but not too safe.